Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today, and by the way, I'm so excited for this because we have the coolest visuals here today. You kind of can see it a little off the top here. But today I have Kim, working teen, John, RCC member, over 10 years serving on the RCC, that's Resource Conservation Commission. But here today to talk about Plastic Free July. First off, welcome to Talking Fitchburg.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for bringing all the great items today that we're going to talk about as we look at Plastic Free July. Tell us a little bit about what this means just in general.
Sure. Well, as a member of the Fitchburg Resource Conservation Commission, we like to work on projects and educate citizens about other sustainable options out there. And as I was doing some research and working with another group through my work where we are looking at plastic recycling and reducing the use of plastics, we came across Plastic Free July, and it's a website, but it's an opportunity for folks to kind of start taking small sustainable steps to get rid of plastics in their life. And so we are working on putting together events through the month of July. And one of the things that myself and my family have been working on is to reduce the use of plastics in our everyday lives. And so a lot of these items here today are items that we have swapped out, that we used to use for, that were made in plastic or, came in plastic. And so we started making these sustainable swaps to just start to eliminate the plastic in our home.
There's a lot of plastic out there.
Yes.
And I don't think until you really step back and really think about what is actually in front of you
right.
at the store, help you, whatever, there's just an abundant amount of it. And it's hard to believe.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And when I really started to look into it and started to research how much plastic is everywhere. And, there's a lot of research and reports that are really now starting to come out and talk about how it's, everywhere. It's in our waterways, it's in our food, it's in our bodies. And so when I started to research this, I started to look around our home and say, oh my gosh, there is so much plastic. What can we do to get rid of this plastic? There has to be other alternatives out there. And I think now, because there's starting to be more awareness, and I think Plastic Free July is helping to bring that awareness, we're starting to see that there are actually other alternatives out there that a lot of people aren't aware of.
So let's kind of go through some of the items here, which is exciting. If you were just trying to take some small steps here at home, you've got some great choices here. So let's start with the paper towel, and I know that's not necessarily a plastic one, but I'm thinking just overall, I love these things here.
Yeah, those are great. They are, when you purchase paper towels, they come wrapped in plastic, and especially if you buy them in bulk, it's a lot of plastic. It's like double wrapped in plastic. And so, and so these reusable towels are wonderful because they can be used many times. You can use them to wash dishes, wipe up spills, use them like you would a paper towel. And then when they get dirty, you throw them in the washing machine and you can reuse them again multiple times. And then when they have outlived their use, you can compost them. And the great thing is they're biodegradable, and so they're not going to just sit in the landfill. They're going to break down and keep the landfill free from things that aren't going to be break down.
Like keep working for you,
right,
really.
Exactly,
I mean, it just keeps working.
Yeah.
Looking up here at the front here, at the shampoos is a really good area to kind of to look at. That's where I'm like, is there anything that isn't plastic in that aisle?
Well, actually, I didn't bring it in, but we just switched to shampoo bars in our household.
Shampoo bars.
Bars, yes, and I should have brought those in, but it's a shampoo bar. So, and it comes in a not wrapped in plastic, and it comes in cardboard, and then you can recycle the cardboard. But the shampoo bars are just they look like a soap, a bar of soap, and they have shampoo and they have conditioners. Those right there are, it's like a, soap that you can use in the shower. And so I used to purchase the big plastic container, and then I noticed that they have switched over to cardboard. And so I will be phasing out the plastic and be using the cardboard refills to refill our soaps.
Yeah, I think it's looking for those alternatives and
Right.
seeing if they do exist. And
Right.
surprisingly enough, they are. There's a lot
Right.
of people who are taking some great steps here. And I'm
Yep.
just trying to peek over to make sure I'm seeing everything up front here. You got a couple of things that I can't quite see.
Yeah,
What,
so
what
these
they're-
are sponges that are completely 100% plastic free and also biodegradable, and they're very similar to the dish towels where you can use them and then for multiple uses, throw them in the dishwasher, boil them to continue to get multiple uses, and then they are also biodegradable once they've outlived their use. The other thing that our family switched to is cloth napkins. So we no longer purchase napkins, for our meals. And the cloth napkins are so easy just, again, to throw into the washing machine and you get multiple uses out of them. And now I don't even I don't use napkins anymore.
Don't buy them in white. That'd be my. I've got two kids
I
that
know, I know.
would turn them into different colors,
Yes,
and you'd be like,
exactly.
What color is that?" I'm like, "Well, it was fun." But
The other thing too, which you can't really see, but right here, these are tabs for the dishwasher. And what's great about them is that instead of using the little dish pods that come wrapped, in the plastic, which can also gum up your pipes, that is completely, it just, pop it in the dishwasher and it, disappears after it's washed. And they come in sustainable packaging, so you can recycle the packaging when you need a refill, and then you just put them in the little tin container, which I love. And those work great, as well as dish soaps and hand soaps, which I've gotten rid of all the plastics and put everything now into glass containers. And then I have found, these options of in aluminum for refills for both dish soaps and hand soaps, which is really great.
yeah, I think like you said, there's been quite a few changes over the years. If somebody was asking, they would say, well, you can recycle plastic. How would you respond to that long term?
Right.
Certainly it's a great thing to do.
Right.
But as far as making those choices, how does that fit into this puzzle?
Well, I'm a huge recycler, and so same with me. I was always recycling plastic, but the more research that I did and I started to look into it, we're just not recycling plastic to the extent that we used to for a number of reasons. Contamination is one, and the high cost. And then, there are some products that can be made into, plastics, like, these reusable bags, which are awesome. But it just depends on kind of what the economy is saying and who's out there actually turning stuff into, other reusable items. So there still is plastic recycling going on, but not to the extent that it used to.
And value-wise too, I would suspect that you may make the assumption that things could cost a little bit more if it's not in a typical packaging. Might be the case, but the long-term effects, both reusing first off, you're
Right.
saving some money, I would think.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
but saving the
absolutely.
environment at the same time. So that kind of could outweigh some of the costs.
Right. Well, I switched to these laundry sheets, which you're seeing a lot of these. And then I just most recently looked up a recipe to make my own laundry detergent, and it is so cheap and it's so easy, and all of the products that are needed to make your own laundry detergent comes in sustainable packaging, and it's super cheap. Now, I understand people are very busy these days and don't have time for that, and they're looking for convenience. So I think these laundry sheets are a great option. First, they're very small, and you can take them when you're traveling with you. But then you're not dealing with those huge, big plastic tubs, of laundry detergent that who knows if they're getting recycled or not.
Right. So back to the small changes and just
Yep.
thinking, if you were giving somebody advice to just start small, what would you advise them to do as far as maybe just a couple things? You're not asking to switch your whole life up, but
Right.
you got to start somewhere.
Right. And I think that's kind of how I looked at it, because when we started to make these sustainable swaps at home, it was very overwhelming. And I was like, oh my gosh, where do I start? And so we just started small with looking around, like I said, switching out, paper towels to cloth napkins, switching from plasticware, to glass. In the laundry, instead of the dryer sheets, this is wonderful. These are little sachets that have lavender inside, lavender leaves. And then this has been used so many times that the lavender leaves have no smell anymore. And so I just put a little bit of lavender scent on it and throw this in the dryer. And it's reusable. And I'm not dealing with the plastic, that comes from the dryer sheets. Same with these wool dryer balls. These are, 100% wool, and so they will break down after their use. And I just put a few drops of lavender scent on it, and they work great, and they cut down on the static electricity, and they're just very sustainable. Another really easy thing to do is I just recently found these. These are the floss picks that everybody uses, and normally they are plastic. And I was starting to think of all of the plastic that's just sitting in the landfill for years. And I found these, and they are 100% biodegradable and BPA free, vegan friendly, wax floss, no plastic, and they work great. So that's very easy, as well as finding items in bamboo. Bamboo is very sustainable. I use this for my dishes, and it's reusable. It's not the plastic. It's not going to wear out. And this item here, I just recently found these as well. They're made of bamboo, and they're Q-tips. And if you use Q-tips, a lot of them are plastic, and they're just sitting in the landfill as well and not breaking down. So I think those are just some really quick and easy small things to start with.
Well, I think you picked like the right area too, where I'm thinking of walking down a health and beauty section and
Right.
thinking, dang, if you really think about it, there's a lot of plastic there. So I think you've really brought some attention here to make some good changes. And do it the month of July as your starting spot. But, it seems like once you start incorporating it, you start getting a hold of it. It seems like, wow, you can get somewhere. All right. Well, if people want to learn more about the great work that the commission is doing and events coming up, how can they stay in touch with you guys?
Well, the City of Fitchburg website is great and is always, broadcasting and providing links for our upcoming events, as well as the social media Facebook page, which we post a lot of event information on as well.
Fantastic, Kim. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your work on the commission, and then the committee members too. Tell them thank you. And
yes,
I told you the door is open here, so we want to get you back in here, and we got to see where you're going next year with some of these products. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.